Hello everyone, my name is Mohammed Abdelshafi, and in this video we will be learning how to make a plastic injection mold for a complex plastic part using Mold Wizard in NX11. So let's just get into it. First of all, we have to open the part. The part is already on XT extension, so we have to make sure that the type that the NX can see is XT, and we open it. Alright, so first of all we have to imagine the two parts of the mold. We have to imagine the parting surface. For example, or the parting plane, is it going to be like this? Is this the parting surface? We have to if we have the prototype in our hands, we might be able to see the parting lines and the parting surface. So for this part, the parting surface is like here. So but as you can see, there's other other features in the parts. There's already some holes on the sides, so that means that this part won't be just core and cavity. There will be also two slides or one slide, but we can just make it one slide right here, because one slide will end up here in this part. One slide will take this part, and the other slide will come from the other side, like from this side, from this side, to make this to form this part. And the core and cavity will be the core will come from the top side, and the cavity will come will be on the bottom side. So this is how our part will be. So before we do anything, we have to save the part as a PRT extension. So we press Ctrl S to save it. He saved it already. Householder xt.prt, and then we first of all we edit the coordinates, our coordinates, and it's on the arc center, and we press OK. Okay, after we save the file, we have to get into Mold Wizard tab, and then we initialize our project. So and we then select the body. We choose the path that we want to save the file in, and we select. We also choose the name. The name can't contain spaces or these marks, the underscore marks, I guess. So we'll name it householder. Okay. We can choose the material and determine the shrinkage and stuff. We can make it 1.4 or something. The configuration, we can choose mold V1, alright, and the units are millimeter. Alright, we can that's enough for this window, and then we press OK. He starts making the assembly folders and files. Each one contains an empty. For now it's empty, so we have to fill it one step by step. We have to fill the assembly files step by step. Alright, so this is the assembly tree. He made all of these assemblies, but it's all empty. It only have the product. Alright. We determine for him the core surfaces and the cavity surfaces. So we first of all we need to let him calculate. He projects everything and determines what faces are for the core and what faces are for the cavity. So this is what he got. There's a lot of undefined things. Like he couldn't define this face because this face like has an undercut here, right here. But in reality, when the part is ejected, this part is like a spring. It opens up. So there's no problem with this like undercut or something. If the core is from if the core came from top, like if we looked at this part will all be like metal. So while this thing is getting ejected, let me explain it for you. So while this thing is getting ejected to the bottom side, alright, these things will like open up because the material of this plastic is has like elasticity. That means that it can deform and get back to its original like form again. So there's no problem with this undercut. Okay, let's get back. So then we have to like tell him what are the faces for the core and cavity as we decided earlier. So he made this pretty good. We already determined that these will be cavity, and then we said that the inner surfaces are going to be like a core surfaces. So let's pick them. So he already chose these to be a core parts. So we are going to like keep choosing. He already chose these, and we choose this. All right. And we press apply. But right now he has like these faces and these faces as a core faces, which we don't want to. We want these faces to be the slide faces. This is the slide number 1, and the other one is slide number 2, right? So what do we do now? We have to define regions. Like there's here an order called define region. We get into it, and it says he already has like 128 like undefined regions. Faces, faces. All right. Before we do this, we need to make it in the center. So we go to workpiece, and he automatically centers it in the middle of the workpiece. This workpiece will in the future will be the core and cavity. So we see that he didn't define any faces. So we go back to check regions. All right. And we do it again. Right, and he made this. He made the ejection. He made the ejection direction the other side. We edit it, and we like reset all. Okay, and then we calculate. There's nothing. Anyways, and then we see our faces. All right, and we do what we did again. Like this is core. This is core. And this is core. Alright, so okay. And then we go to define regions. Now he defined some of the regions, like this is the cavity. He's pretty satisfied with it. But we need to add some other like regions here, like the core region. He as we said before, that he took the side region, the side surfaces, and added to the core regions, which we don't want to. So we're going to define a new region. Double click on this, and we rename it slide 1. And then we select the faces that we want to like contain on slide 1, which is this. I zoom in a little bit. This and this. We mistakenly choose this. Okay. This and this and this and this. These. Alright. you have to select every face that is going to be contained on the slide. And we take, as we said before, that the parting line on the parting line is on this surface, like it's this surface, this line, this curve, right? All right, this is going to be like slide 1, but we need to contain this part on slide 1 because slide 1 will take half of this face. But here we can select the whole face only. We can't select the half of the face. So first of all, we do create regions, and we press apply, so we save the work that we have done so far, and we press OK. It's fine. And then we want to like divide this face, so we search for divide face. We pick it. Oh, we can't pick it because we are not on the modeling application. We are on assembly application, and on the assembly applications there's a lot of orders that you can do. So we move to the modeling. So we search again for divide face and we pick it. First of all, to divide face, we need such a tool to divide, and we choose like a curve, a line, and then we don't need to be, we can like make it from the center, and then we want a line on the Z direction. We extend it the other direction. All right, and then we press apply. And then we want to, okay, we already done it, and then we go again to divide face. We select the face that we want to divide. Oh, he already selected all of the surfaces because the selection here says body faces. You select only one face, and then the tool option is the line. He can do it because the projection direction is normal to face, and he can't see the line. So we say along vector, press this vector, and then he can see it. All right, and then we have our division here. But again, we want to like divide the other side as well. So we pick the face, the tool option. He has already hidden it because we used it already. So we pick it again. And we change this to a long vector and this one, and then we reverse direction so he can sense the line. So, and then we press apply. Right here we have our like two faces that we want to contain on the slides. Right, like until here there's the slide number 1 until this face is on the slide number 2. We go back to Mold Wizard, we go back to the define regions, and then we go to the slide number 1, and we add the new face that we just made. But yeah, and then we do create regions. But he says the faces, some regions are not connected. We are going to explain this later. All right, he's asking me to like delete the previous regions that he made. I say yeah, okay, delete and continue. All right. And we go back to selecting the slide number 2. Be careful here so we don't mess up all of these. Right. We do this, and we have made the faces. But of course, if you can imagine the slide, like the slide shape or the slide as a solid part, if you can imagine it, you have to imagine that these faces are not with us, because this is going to be filled with the solid, yeah. And we have to like make another surface on this part that defines the outer surface of the slide. We can, like, after we do this part, we're going to explain this again. I hope you get it. Right? Oh, we forgot. Yeah, so we forgot to make a slide number, the slide name. And if you forgot to do the slide name, you have to do all the work again. So I'll just do it. We change the name and we start again. All right. After we selected all the faces, we check create regions, and then we press apply. All right, press OK, delete and continue. All right. Right now we have made the two slides faces and the core, like, that will come from the top side, and the cavity that from the bottom side. There's one face, undefined face. You can see it from the color or from here, the undefined face. And we tell him that this is this belongs to the core, and then we create regions again, delete the old regions and make new ones. All right. So right now we have to patch the surfaces. As we were saying before, this surface, for example, needs to be patched because the way that NX works is that he makes surfaces and then he sews them together, so he makes a solid bar. For example, like if I want to, like, let's try to explain it as quick as possible. Right. So let's make it a cylindrical part with like this cylindrical hole on it, in it. All right. And we want to make this part with injection molding. So if you can imagine, the parting surface will be like right here. I'm sorry because I'm not drawing so well, but yeah, the parting surface is going to be like right here. Let's just edit it like this part. All right, and then we have the cavity underneath, right? And then the core on the top, right? And if we like extracted the core, it's going to be, and we extracted the core and we looked from this side, it's going to be like this, right? You have to imagine with me, like it's going to be like this, and the cavity is going to be like this. It has this hollow part. The core is going to get inside and is going to do this, and then the injection is going to happen, and this is going to be filled with plastic, and then we have our part right here. So what does NX, the mold wizard, do, and how does it work? Simply, it generates the faces. Like there is a face right here, right? The inside faces. There's this face, the cylindrical face, and there's this face on the bottom, right? So he made this face and he made the cylindrical face, and then he sewed them together, and he got the core, like a core part, solid part. For a more like, and the same happened with the cavity. He took the cylindrical face and the base of the product, and he sewed them together, and he sewed them with the workpiece and the parting surface, and he got the working piece. He got the cavity part. All right. We have to like take another example. If it's a cylindrical part with a through hole, all right. So there's this through hole. Okay. So let's say that we want the parting surface to be right here. Okay, we want the parting surface right. So this is going to be like a cavity, and this is going to be the core. In this example, the cavity and core are identical. All right, sorry for the bad drawing. I'm not so used to this pen, but yeah. So if we can imagine the one part, the top part, for example, right, is going to be the hollow thing. It will have this, and it will also have something like this, right? Right, yeah. Well, let's take this one. Draw it again. It's gonna be like this, right? So this is going to be the top part, and the bottom part is going to be the same, like a mirror from this guy, from this part, right? So how would NX generate this? You will tell him that there is this is my parting surface, and you would make a patching surface here. You would make just a circular surface here, right here, so that when he takes this cylindrical surface, he wants to like close it so he can make a solid board. So when you make him this cylindrical surface, you are telling him, like, you are giving him the opportunity to make it a solid board. So this is a solid board. If you don't give him this, it's going to be all surfaces and with like an open, there's an open part, and this is not a solid, so he will give you an error. So you have to keep this, you have to put this and keep this in mind, because you will need this imagination while working, so you can get the work done, and so you can like know what is wrong and what is not wrong. All right, let's get back to our part. So as we were saying, we have to make these patch surfaces. The first simple patch surface is this part, because as we said before, he already knows, like the program already knows that this is our parting surface. Like this line is our parting surface, right? So if he tried to like make the cavity, there will be this missing surface from the cavity, which will make it all surfaces and not solid, and not a solid part, and then he will give you the error. He will give you the error, and he will tell you that he couldn't make the cavity. All right, let's put this in place. Right. All right. Yeah, so this is the first patching surface. It's so simple. You're going to select each patch, and we select face. We flip this, and we select on this face, and we press apply. So as you can see, he patched it. So this is going to be the end of the core and the meeting of the cavity. This surface is where the core and cavity meets. All right. What else we have to, like, we have also the slide, like as we said before, that the core will have all of these surfaces, right? And we already patched this, but we need to patch these openings. Before we do this, we forgot something, that these faces belongs to the slide, because as we will see, the slide, as we will see, if you could imagine it, you will just find out that this belongs to the slide, not to the core. This belongs to the slide body, actually, the solid slide body. We forgot to do the name again. Because the core can never get into this place, right? Is there anything? Yeah, there is this, and there is this. The press apply, create regions, delete and continue. Right? Right. And we do the other one. Alright, and then we delete and continue. So right now we have defined it so well. We just need to make the patching surface right here that will like be the meeting surface. Will be the meeting surface of the core and the slide number 1 and the slide number 2. There's a surface that they will meet in right here. So we have to make the surface just as the patching surface, but this surface will be a little bit like complex, and so let's just get into it. All right, you go to the surface tab, of course, and the first thing we want to patch is like this part. To make our work easier, we have to go to view, clip section, because it is a mirror, right? If we made one surface, we can mirror it, and then we get the other surface. So we go to view and then clip section and then edit section. We want to clip it from the Y, and we want to clip it from the middle. He's already clipping it from the middle. All right, so we can like deal with it better right now. All right. All right, we select it again, this point, and then on this point again, and then we press apply, and then we use study surface to get this to this, right? And we can, it's okay, we can choose this guy to be tangent to this guy, flip it, and this guy to be tangent to this guy, so we can get a more like smoother face. All right, we made the first part. We need to get into the other parts as well. So first of all, we can like try and do like sweep this into this and this, right? We can, okay, select the tangent, it's fine, and then select this as a tangent, and then we get our face, right? We forgot to select this one, so we select it, and there we go. There goes our second face. All right. Now, as we notice that this line is like far away, it's like extended from this line, so we can just do a surface like this. It's not going to be right or okay. All right, so what we do here is we use the extrude, right? Make sure to select everything continuously, right? And then we specify the vector to be on this side. We can extend it, it's fine, it's extended good. But yeah, we don't need the negative part. We now need to like make a surface that meets it from this side, but on the Y direction. So we had this part, this surface, and then we have like we have reach it to this. So let me edit this. If we have reached it to this, we need to make for this guy until this, you know what I mean, like until this surface. If we want to extend this line, we are going to extend it in the y direction, but we need to extend it until this part. So if we want to select, if we are going to select, we will, he will automatically select the whole thing. We don't want him to select the whole thing, so we divide face. But before we divide face, we make our line that we are going to use in dividing the face. It's going to be here. All right, and then we divide face. This face, we divide it with, okay, he won't be able to divide it, but let's see. Yeah, he could divide it. All right, fine. So right now, if we looked at it from here, it's what? Yeah, that division was not right, because as you can see, the line he was normal to the face. We don't want it normal to the face. We want it normal to the line itself. So we're going to choose this. So now, oh yeah, the other side. Yeah, now we got it. So now if we're going to hide this one, and then we extrude this guy, this guy, and this guy on what direction? As we said before, on the y direction, this direction. Yeah, and this is 0, and then we press OK. All right, so if we have now both like surfaces, right? So now we can use trim sheet to get the wanted result. Actually, if we trimmed right now, look at this part, we can trim it. Or actually we can. It's fine. The other one won't be able to trim it actually. So yeah, he wanted to discard this guy. So that's, yeah, he wanted to discard this guy. That's true. And now we want to trim this using this guy. Now we will have to like extend it because it's not enough. He cannot trim it. So we are going to like extend the other guy. Fine. And then we trim sheet, trim this using this and this. And then we discard this. Yeah, true. Right. We can actually hide this guy, and then we make this. We make a curve to cure it, a surface, and then we study words. Okay, so like this curve, so we make sure that it passes through it. And with this guide, yeah, and then we apply. Right. We cured this part. Now all we need to do is to like make a surface that like joins this and this together, and then we mirror it through the YZ plan. All right. Alright, so in order to like studio surface or swept like sweep this curve into this curve, we need to make an end to this curve. So we divide face. We need to divide this face into 2 halves. Okay, so we need a curve here, right here, like from maybe from the center. It's fine, from any center. Yeah, like from this center to the Z plan. The Z plan, please. Oh god. Yeah, there it is. All right. So now we go to divide face again. We divide face, and then we select faces to divide. Yeah, and then we divide this. Divide them using this. We change the normal to face. Change it to a long vector. This We reverse the direction. There we go. We have our first face divided. We will use another curve. Make a line again on this part, and through the y-axis we want this to be a lot of negative, yeah, right there, like this. So now if we like clip backward, we are going to see that this line can divide this surface easily. Alright, so let's just go divide face and hope it works. Alright, it works right now. Okay, so it's north the face, it's fine. So right now we can proceed to what we were doing. We can make a bridge curve between this curve and this curve. Alright, there you go. There we go. Alright. So like this, it's going to be fine by the core and cavity. They can get into each other in this surface, it's fine. Right? There is no interaction between them. So what we do now is that everything's fine, everything's fine. Now we hide this. We hide our product, and this is what we got. This is the surface that we got. As we were saying, of course we forgot to make our datum CSYS. Yeah, he automatically placed it on the workpiece coordinates. Right, it has been done right here. We can mirror it again. Just for this plane, we press apply, we sew them together. Let's see. I don't know what was the problem though, but yeah, it worked out. Sometimes you don't need to ask what is wrong. So this just need to move on, right? So we then mirror this geometry again, because as we said there was two sides, right? If we show the solid body that we have, and this is the workpiece, we can hide it. Right. There you go. So there's this. It is like perfectly done right here. But yeah, did that, and then we are going to make it again. We have to define that this new surfaces that we just made, we have to define them as a batching surface. they have to take the same color as this surface. I don't know why he give it this color, but yeah. We have to define this as a batching surface 1, and then what else? This. All right. So right now he now know that these surfaces are parting surfaces. So the parting surface will be all of this with these things inside it. Now there is no like empty parts on the surface, so he can make his solid parts easily. Now we go back to define part, we check our everything. I don't know why he deselect these faces. Oh yeah, he deselected these faces because we edited them, right? Right. Now we create regions again. Delete and continue. Right. What else? Do we have anything else? Yeah, we have one undefined face. Yes, this one. This guy is a chord face. Create regions. Delete and continue. Yeah. Alright. Now we are ready to make our core and cavity. So the final step before extracting the cavity and the core, we have to design the parting face surfaces. All right. Yeah, we forgot to do something. We have to we didn't create parting lines that he can use in defining the parting surfaces. So yeah, we make parting lines for everyone and for the core as well. For slide number 1 and for the slide number 2. Alright, yeah. Right now, if we go into this, he will have already made some segments for us that we can use in making the parting surface. Right, so he's going to use extend. He's going to use extrude in this feature. It's fine pass, right? Right, the segment number 2 is the same one but on the other side. It's fine. Right, the segment number 3 is this one, where the slide right here and the cavity underneath it meets, right? So we are going to choose the ribbon surface. Then we apply it. Right? Yeah, it's failed because yeah, just delete it, and we are going to make it a little bit smaller than this, and this will help us solve it still. Right, we delete it again. We make it more smaller, like 70, for example. Right, there we go. 70 works. Yeah, the other one on the other side, and the 70 as well. Yeah, cool. And then we go for segment number 5. It's this one. Yeah, and this one we use, I actually do not remember, but it was extended. But if we did it and extended, it's going to be like so bad, which we don't want to. But we say that this is from the core region, so he makes it. And then the other one is the same, but we are going to tell him that this is from the core region. Right. Now we have made everything. So these are the parting surfaces we have on this. And then we go to, we have to make sure that the parting surfaces, parting the workpiece, the initial working piece, so we don't have any errors. Alright, it's fine. Everything is cutting through it. And then we can go, yes. Let's go to it. Then we go for define core and cavity. Right, for the cavity bar, this is going to be our cavity. It's simple as that, and this is the batching surface that we were talking about. If this is not, if we did not do this, it's going to be hollow, and everything is going to be surfaces, but it's not solid. But right now we batched it and then sealed it. if it was all continuous with no like holes in it, it's going to be solid. If it's a lot of surfaces, like he deals with a rectangular as 4 surfaces sewed together, and this is the same here. All right, this is the cavity region. It is made successfully, and then we go to the core region, and there you go. There's this is the core region. This is the solid bar that will come from the top side. Then or if it's in case of injecting, it's going to be like it will come from the side, because the injection mold is like is not like is not horizontal, it's vertical. So it will come from here, like it will come from here. And as we said, as the core is going out, it's going to like spring the material out, and then when the core gets totally out, the material will spring back in, returning to its original shape. Right, then we made the core successfully. This is the slide number 1. There we go. There's this is the slide that is going to make the inner, like the side formation on the part. This is the complex part that needs a slide, right? And this is going to be its slider, yeah. And these are the surfaces that we have made, and to define how will the slide be. If we did not make this were going to be hollow, and thus he will make an error. He will tell me I can't do the slide number 1 and the slide number 2. Right, this slide number 1, slide number 2 is the same, of course. And there we go. There you go. All right. If we want to see the whole combination of this mold, we go to top. He names it top 000, right? So this is our mold, right? We can make an exploded view, explosion, yeah. And then we move boards, yeah, like this. And then we select the other object, and then we move it. Yeah, because my bad. Right? We select this guy only, and we get it away. Back to select object. Then we select this guy only. Remove object. Move it outside. Select object, not this. Select this. Move object. Downside. Alright. And we say OK. And there you go. So this is exactly what is it going to be. This is the mold like combination. This is the steady part. This is the moving part. The injection will come from the steady part, of course, and this part, like core, will get in, and the slides will also get in. If it were actuators, or if it were the sliding bins, whatever, everything will get in place, and then the injection mold will go on. Will start injecting in plastic. After the cooling, the core will get out, and the part will spring back to its original shape, and the slides will go out, and then you get your, and of course injection is going to happen from the core, and then you get your desired products right here. Right, if we can notice something here, right here, that these things are too thin. So actually, as we were saying, that this thin bar is not like durable. We cannot leave it like this, because it might like break or something, because it's too thin and it's too weak. So what we want to do is we can get into the slide itself, and then we like move face. We can move face, make this face, this face, this face, this face, and we can like move it on this side, yeah. the vector is like exactly on the bottom, and then we go for the, for example, 10 or something. Yeah, and there you go. You have like made it like more but you have made it more stronger right now. Like, yeah, if you are going to do this, you have to edit the same part at the same time, like edit the cavity as well, and make this groove so that when you like assemble them back together, it's going to be fine. Like, for example, if we have where's the assembly? Yeah, assembly and the unexploded component. Yeah, then we get it back to its place, and then this as well, we unexplode this component, we get it back to its place. So we see that this part will going to have is going to have an interaction between these two. So we have to like measure, for example, we have to measure the distance between these two, but we have to be outside, of course. Then we like measure the distance between this point and this point. It's this number, and then we like cut this number from the cavity, so there is no interaction, and this part is stronger right now. Alright, that's it for this video. If you liked it, don't forget to hit like and subscribe and turn on notifications to watch our new uploads. I also apologize for my grammar and editing mistakes. So make sure to comment your thoughts on the video and feel free to ask me anything. Also, don't forget to tell me what you'd like to see on this channel for the next videos. Thank you.